Hi guys, this is my Donner octave guitar pedal that I got from Amazon, and what it does, it raises and lowers, the octaves of your guitar. If you want to play in a different key or something like that. Now this is not a harmonizer pedal. There's only two selections on here that actually harmonize the guitar, make it sound, like a 12 string or something like that. So you got a wet and you got a dry. Alright, your wet is your pedal effect and dry is your guitar effect. Excuse me. And then you've got a high switch, a detune switch, which is almost like a chorus, and you got a low switch. Alright, so let me get my guitar hooked up and I'll give you a demonstration. Alright, be right back. Okay guys, I'm back, and I'm sorry if my camera work isn't the greatest. I'm 73 and this is just a fun hobby for me, and I don't really have professional equipment, so I do the best with what I can. And my camera's on my forehead and I can't always tell where it's aimed at. Alright, so now this is the pedal. Pedal's off. This is the normal guitar sound. Okay, now I'm going to start with the wet and the dry all the way up. Alright, and I'm using the lower settings, alright, to lower the octave. And this is what it sounds like. That sounds terrible. Okay, let me turn the dry down almost all the way. It still sounds terrible. Okay, so now I'm going to turn the dry off, alright? So now this is my guitar with the pedal off. I'm using the zero setting here. I guess I call it the zero. Alright, this is my guitar. I'm just going to pick it and you'll hear the sound change once I put it on. Okay. Now that's the low setting. Let's try the high setting. We'll go to the next one. We'll stay on the high setting. Alright, now we'll go to the low setting. Now we'll go to the next setting. Now we'll go high. You can hear a little bit of the dry, and even though it's all the way down, it does sound like I'm hitting more than one string. Alright, now we go up one more. Whoops, screw that. we go low on that setting. And even when you get up here in your higher strings, now I am picking up a little bit of my strings that, the amp isn't picking up because I'm very close to my guitar, alright? So now let's try go next setting, and we're on low. And it does make the guitar sound a little out of tune on certain settings. See, and if I turn, the dry up, it doesn't sound good. Now we go to the next setting, which is like 3/4, and I'll try it with the dry. And I'll try high. Almost sounds like a harmonica. Now, with this setting, I can turn the dry all the way up. Almost sounds like an organ there. Let me try that on low. I don't know if I did it or not. Now the chords on the low setting don't sound all that good. On the high setting, they sound pretty good. Now let's go to the lowest setting. Now I'm on high, okay? Now if I turn the dry off on this setting, it almost sounds like a harmonica. And when you get really high, it's weird. Now if I do that on the low, it's almost too low because it's like the sound cuts out. But now, if I turn the dry up all the way, okay, so that's it for the high and lows. Now let's try the detune setting. And this is a cool setting because it's like a chorus. It's better than the chorus that came with my amplifier. Alright, this is on... Try it, go lower one setting. Doesn't sound that much different. But if I turn down the dry, it'll sound different. So I just leave them both all the way up. And go to the next setting. Go to the next setting. Alright, go to the next setting. Go to the next setting. And go to the last setting. Now that's, the detune on this is, like I said, it's like a chorus, but it's really great if you like to play arpeggios, Okay, that's about it. And like I said, I'm really sorry about my camera work. I hope you can see everything I wanted you to see. And I know my playing isn't the greatest anymore. And if you like the video, I'd appreciate a like. I could sure use it. So that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you later. Bye bye.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the Donner compressor pedal. It's the Ultra compressor, Super compressor, something like that. The Donner Ultimate compressor. That's what it is. So, interestingly enough, we're going to be playing through a Donner looper pedal in series with a monoprice distortion pedal, another cheap bargain distortion for monoprice, and then we have the Donner compressor, and I'm going through some other effects with a Zoom MS50G, another great budget buy. Seriously. Here's the beauty, you're not going to believe this. Everything you hear is going to be coming out of this Donner 3-watt mini amp. On the clean channel, going direct out into my recording unit, the trusty, handy Zoom R24. So the Donner's playing back what I just recorded now. There you have it, the Donner Ultimate Compression.
Hi, this is Willett from Shaggy's in Cathedral City. Been a while, but we're back with an interesting ABY box from Donner. This is a small little guy, but it functions pretty well given the price point, of course. It does allow you to go both ways with this thing. In other words, you can go one input, two outputs, or you can do two outputs, one input, which makes it kind of neat. So when we're going to take a look at it at the front of this thing, it is another one of their small effects. Obviously, in this setting, A, B, I'm switching from channel to channel, and there's not any distinct change in it because I got them both in the little Fender Champ here. Now, if I switch it to Y, that's both at the same time. As you can see, nothing now. The foot switch has no effect at this point. So in this position, this is my guitar in. These are out to the amplifier. And we're going to show you what happens when you plug it into another amp. The problem that you could potentially have is a ground loop problem. So let me quickly just show you that. So we'll go out of this one, move into this one, and just listen to the sound. Listen carefully. That's the kind of problem that you're going to encounter with ground loops. Now, you can lift the ground on these. I'm not going to tell you what to do or how to do it. That's what you need to be aware of. Now what I'm going to do is put another guitar. We're going to switch this around, and we're going to put two guitars into one input. So, self-untangled here. Sorry for the confusion, but so here we go here. I hope I'm in the right spot there. Okay, so, okay. Now what I've done is, I'm in through this green cord, which is one of the outputs here, the red output, obviously. Now when I switch it to here, obviously I have no signal. But I do have a signal, come to think of it. Here it is, right here. If, there you hear it there. So you could plug two into one. Now, other than the ground loop issue that this thing tends to have, now, on that setting, of course, now both inputs are affected. They're both on at the same time. So, the other thing I wanted to show you is that the power, all the power does is gives you access to the LED. You don't really need it. As you can see, I can kind of go back and forth without it. But this is what this is doing. Okay, a couple of issues with this little guy. Since there is no ground lift on it, you're going to encounter those kinds of problems if you try to double it up with two amplifiers. That's a common thing, no matter what. Now, no matter how you do it. You know, it's flexible enough at this price point. It's a pretty cool little box. I think it's usable. I see myself using it. I use a couple Fender amps separated with effects on one and maybe dry on the other. So I very would probably use it that way. So again, this is, you know, the usual thing. I'm just trying to give you a general idea of the way these things are working. This thing retails for, oh gosh, 30 bucks, 29 bucks, something like that. I think it's a good deal under the circumstances. I would definitely like to see a couple other added things, but that's all for now. We're just going to wrap it up here. Again, a Donner ABY pedal, pretty cool little device. So this is Willett with Rudy and Bella, and I don't know where the other puppies are. We're signing off from Cathedral City. Thanks. See ya.
Start to get sorry, a bit of feedback there. probably as much as I can do with the sort of setup I've got, but hopefully it's given you an idea of what this is able to do, and I think it's, you know, it's a pretty nice add-on to my pedal board. Okay, thank you.
What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be showing you the Donner Mini ABY box. So it comes in a pretty small little box here. Open it up and got the instructions. Mine didn't come in plastic, but that doesn't matter. So this is a good look at it here. We got the ABY switcher here. Let's check it out. Just for comparison's sake, I thought I would show, this is a Boss TU2 chromatic tuner, and I'm kind of putting it side by side with a Boss pedal here so you can kind of get an idea of the size. So this is one of their mini enclosures, so it doesn't take up a whole lot of space on a pedal board. Okay, so an AB switcher or an ABY switcher, there's a lot of different ways you could use this in a guitar or a bass setup. I'm sure if you do a Google search, you'll find all kinds of information on ways that different people use them. This pedal board that I have here doesn't have a whole lot of pedals on it. I'm reconfiguring things, but I didn't want to use a pedal tuner because it'll take up some real estate. And I have this Korg tuner that's kind of lying around and it's flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Velcro this to the top of my pedal power, and that way I can tune. But I want to be able to tune silently. So the way I'm going to use this Donner ABY switcher is one of the channels, A, is going to connect to my pedals and allow signal to pass through to the amp. And then I'll use the channel B as my silent tuning. So I'm going to demonstrate how it'll sound. I am going to be using another Donner pedal. It is the Yellow Fall Delay, which is an absolutely great pedal for the money. So right now it's on the green channel, which that is letting me tune silently. So you'll notice on green, nothing's passing through. When I go to the red, I have signal. So once I go to the green, you can see the Korg tuner starts to light up, and I have the ability to tune silently without going through the amp. So again, so this is how I'm going to use my Donner ABY switcher. There's a lot of different ways you can use it, but it seems very well built. It's very easy to follow, and it's really functional. So for the money, you can't go wrong. Donner's done a great job once again. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please click helpful if you found this video helpful. Thanks.